up? What up?
Yo.
Wednesday, and Dookey Dash is over.
Bomber.
Yeah. Shout out to the gamers.
3 weeks of gaming.
Shout out to the pro gamers that did all the work. Congratulations to you.
Carried the entire swamp on their backs. I mean, somebody had to do it, right? I mean,
somebody did.
I wouldn't have been the members. Oh, God, help us.
No, that's way too much work. You know, that wouldn't be any fun to actually play the pass that's yours.
I mean, my monkey doesn't pay enough from staking for me to justify taking the time to play the game. So it's tough out here.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I guess we can just jump into it. So Dookey Dash, success, not a success, or somewhere in between?
Huge success.
Massive.
Spoken like a true maxi we are.
Yep. What's the best part about it?
Dude, honestly, though, I mean, like, a lot of things, right? I feel like Dookey Dash accomplished so much across the board. Like, we were able to get massive amount of participation in the swamp. Like, everyone was, in the swamp participating in some degree, whether you're, hiring somebody to play for you or you're playing yourself, whatever it may be. It was just a very high engagement time for everyone in the swamp. You can see it all across Twitter, all the hashtag Dookey Dash clips, videos, people posting their high scores, just a lot of excitement, a lot of banter, a lot of back and forth. So, I mean, it's incredible that it was a closed game and we still had so much participation. I forget the final numbers there, but it was like 25,000 people, or maybe not people is the right word, but 25,000 unique wallets, which, I mean, ultimately is still a significant amount of people would have been responsible for that kind of number. But huge amount of participation, even in the midst of a bear market. Still, though, quite a few passes that didn't get validated. But to wrap it back up, because I'm going in all sorts of tangents already, I'm just like energized to talk about this shit because I got a lot on my mind about ApeCoin. But a lot was shown with Dookey Dash, and it was just a prototype.
That's the big thing that gets me still is like, this wasn't their, coming into the space saying this is the Web3 game for NFTs. Like, this is going to take over everything. This was literally just their prototype, right? It's stage one. So the fact that they were able to produce something on this scale with as many checks as they did to prevent cheating, like, I'm just very bullish moving forward. And I think, if anything, this was just a really big learning opportunity for Yuga in terms of just what to kind of anticipate moving forward. Like, now I think they know, all right, we have pro gamers that are kind of playing this and offering services. We need to maybe figure out games that are, prevent that sort of thing or just encourage it, whatever it may be.
I give it a B+.
All right, let me remove him from the stream. See you later, hater.
Why B+?
I think that's a fair grade because it's not perfect. And so, like, as someone that grades people on a daily basis, I can't give them an A. I mean, a B+ is still great. It's like an 89%. And for their first, like, real test of ApeCoin usage in a game and a gamified mint, I think that's a big time success. Like, it's not failing by any means. I enjoyed it, and like, I think they captured the space for sure. You saw it on the timeline a lot. You had Mongrel playing, I assume fairly, because he's like legit, and you had a lot of other people that were trying to basically play for Bored Ape members, which is great. All those things are good. Now, was I surprised that there are some like hacks or like attempts at hacks and gaming the system? No, I was not surprised at all, because at the end of the day, any game, I don't give a shit if you're talking NFTs or just games in normal life.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of monetary gain for getting a higher score, you're going to have that, like, guaranteed. So, like, that's where I go down to a B+. Not that that's like, I wasn't surprised by it, but it's like, those are things they can work on. Like, I have no doubt that they're going to take all this feedback and they're still going to, like, they're still auditing them, right? So you're talking, I think it's like 3 days or something like that. Or maybe it's the 10th that they're going to come back out and say, these are the ones that we've basically zeroed out. And these are the one, this is what we found, XYZ. And they'll make adjustments. I don't think there's any way they find all of the cheating or whatever you want to call it. And that is what it is. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not like pissed about that. To be frank, I don't think it would have impacted my score that much at all. So I think it was great, and it was a good first like test run and experiment. So that's why I give it a B+.
My big thing when it comes to the whole cheating aspect is I feel like there's a very small minority that are capable of cheating in a game like Dookey Dash, that have the skills and the time to be able to cheat. So unless like we had people that were offering services, like providing those services while they cheat on other people's pass, like that could end up being a really big issue. But overall, I feel like, there's probably maybe a handful of people that could have cheated. And if they did, like, yeah, it's a big fat bummer. I doubt they got number one.
So in that situation, though, in that situation, though, if there was a service that was providing, top tier scores and they were cheating, the people that bought the service are going to get a swift kick to the nuts, and they're going to be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that, because now I have no idea if the service that I bought was legitimate or not. And it's, I've mentioned it before. We've talked about it, Bryce, and we're very familiar with it. But in a lot of different MMORPG games where there's grind mechanics and things that you can do that are tedious but that help advance you in games, it's not unlikely that we see bots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be a part of this moving forward. If there's something you can do in other side that you can do repetitively that's going to crank out ApeCoin, you bet your bottom dollar there's going to be somebody there scraping the pennies off of the bottom of the jar, because it's like,
it's free pennies.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, bringing it to the Dookey Dash game, this first place prize, the key, whoever gets that, easily instant 600K plus. Right. I mean, we just saw another 1-of-1 artifact go for other side for about 670K. So it's like, I don't know, that I'm still thinking, 800K to 1 mil plus for the top tier prize if they end up selling it, and nobody's going to buy it. I mean, nobody.eth is going to buy it. Would be my guess. If he
him or Dingling, I would say is probably.
They're probably already DMing Mongrel. Yo.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. So you want to give that to me
friend.
for
the so yeah, I would agree. Like, botting's gonna happen. That's never gonna be something where you're just perfect. It's not possible. The only thing I would point out is, and who knows, like, I would love it if and when Yuga comes out. What's the dude's name? Saiger? I don't even know if that's how you say his fucking name, but I thought his thread specifically that's where I maybe bump him down to a B+ rather than like an A or A-, because to me it felt like he was trying, like, along the way, right? Like he had a thread, I don't even remember that it was like a week ago or something, maybe longer ago than that, where he had said, these are the things that I was able to exploit, these are the things that they did really well, I've sent this all to Yuga, blah 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 blah. And in this thread that he put out today, it was like, well, they didn't think that the first thing I found was anything, and they didn't respond on this other thing that I pointed out to them. So it's just interesting. I would love to hear a little bit more from Spencer Tucker, the head of the gaming department, Everyday Zucchini, if you're following him on Twitter, just to hear kind of his thoughts. Again, I'm not surprised by this at all, but it's more, I would just, again, like, when they get done auditing, like, some transparency in that. And again, like, I'm not mad about it impacting my score, if that makes sense. It's more like I want to make sure that they're taking, and I'm sure they are taking those steps for the next thing, the next whatever it is, next game, that they maybe do take some of this feedback. And Saiger even came out and said, like, I'm happy to, like, consult. Like, I don't know why that seems like a no-brainer to me. Like, more people from the outside, like, looking at and like trying to break your shit. Like, I think that's
yeah. And I mean, we can't really comment on what Yuga did to, to get it to the point where it is now. Like, it's very easy for someone to come in after the fact and be like, oh, this, that, and whatever, like, so many other things are wrong with it. But there could have been huge challenges that maybe Yuga went, had to overcome to get it to the point where they're like, okay, this is we have the product, we need to get it out there. Obviously it can't all be buttoned up to the,
full
because
transparency
again,
too. Like I would say, even Seiger and like all these people that have posted stuff, they all were like, this was still like well done. Like at the end of the day, like they weren't like, this is shit, this is terrible. It was like, this is really well done. I'm impressed, but they could do these things better. Which I mean, I think that's great.
The big thing too, like this was only 3 weeks long, right? It's not a game that they were releasing to say, oh, yep, here, this is going to be playable for the rest of your life. It was literally just for 3 weeks. So the fact that they made it as well as they did for a 3-week game, I mean, it's stupid bullish moving forward. And anybody else that's like, oh, you guys, disappointing me with their lack of technical experience, fuck off. Like, show me any other project that's producing this much demand and incentive with a game that's, being played this much. Like, and if there are other projects like that, I can almost guarantee you they're all being botted just as much, if not more. Right. So people always find a way to hate on Yuga, but I'm pleased with the game. I give it an A+.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to my my tolerance for people that just like completely ragging on thin air. It is decreased significantly. I've started not banning. I've started blocking more and more people. If I'm like, this take is just so far out of left field, I'm like, honestly, you're not providing any sort of input into my timeline anymore. Thank you. Goodbye.
Peace.
Yeah, I think that's fine because to be honest, no matter what you say back, it'll always just be a back and forth. And like, to be honest, there's also like there's some discords where I see talk of that, and I try to keep it like as close to just facts as possible, because when I was trying to convince these people months ago about what I thought, it didn't matter. Like I could have said they were the second coming of Jesus Christ himself, and it would have been like, but he's not this. And so I don't know. It's kind of a waste of breath for sure. So definitely like success 100%. I had a fun time playing it. Like I wanted to get better at it. Of course, at the end of the day, like I've never been a gamer, first off. Second off, the last 3 days, I just haven't had time. Unfortunately, I thought I was going to have a lot more time. Work got a little bit fucking crazy with basketball and baseball overlapping currently, but I had fun. Like at the end of the day, I bought a freaking gaming mouse for the first time in my life. I've literally never even thought about doing that any other time. So I bought a gaming mouse specifically for this, not because I thought I was going to win first. I think that's key. I never once went in there thinking, oh, I'm going to be even in the top fucking 1,000. Like that was not the thought. It was more, I want to see if I can better this experience for myself. And I think that's exactly what Yuga's looking for, is like, how can we make it and it was like a family event. You saw these people like posting where their kids were playing it, their wives were playing it, their brother would come over and play it. They'd send it and delegate to whoever, their neighbor down the road that loves it. And like, to me, that's super bullish long term, because this was, again, and it was obviously an experience, but it was also an experiment. Like they're definitely gathering data, and they'll be able to take this and like kind of mold it into something that's even, I don't know, like 100 times better, and be able to push this like worldwide, where they do have a free game that you can come play. Here's a way to, hey, here's Ape token. We're going to make it super dummy proof that if you want to use it, it's going to be easy. It's not going to be setting all these 73 wallet things up. It's going to be integrated in an easy way. And I'm bullish on that. We've talked about that before. Like I can just see them having this library of arcade style games and them just being like bangers just because they're addictive as fuck and you don't want to stop playing them.
Mm-hmm. I will say I find it very hard to like really grind out Dookey Dash. Like I could definitely play for like an hour, 2, 3. But once I was done, it was very hard to be like, take a break and come back and play more, just because it's one of those endless runner games.
Yeah.
And you have to start from scratch every single time. So I would kind of like, and I kind of hope in the next evolutions, maybe it's similar to the mobile kind of game where you get past levels and you reach checkpoints. And that way it doesn't feel like, all right, back to square one.
And I know we're going to talk about a million things because there's like literally 2 million things to talk about. But when we get there, I'm really curious what you guys' thoughts are on that graphic of like the second game, or mini game, I should say, because it looks, I have a couple different thoughts, and I've heard a couple different like spun up theories. and they all kind of make sense in their own right. So I'd be curious to see what y'all think too. But I don't know where you want to start. I mean, again, there's like, I feel like Yuga just dropped like a fucking atomic bomb on our head with everything that they pushed through. Obviously, Dookie Dash, the Bored Ape map, and also Other Side. Like all of it, just like boom, here you go. Oh, you thought we weren't gonna do shit all year? Oh, think again. We just gave you a map all the way through May, and it has shit happening all the time.
Right. And guess what that's run on?
Exactly.
Powered by yours truly, ApeCoin.
All right. So Bryce just laid it up perfectly. I'm going to give a spiel on ApeCoin because, pump my bags. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, personally, I feel like this is like the most obvious dumb thing. And I just want to point it out everywhere where it makes sense because it's literally plastered everywhere, faded at your own risk. But I mean, straight from the Yuga website, the Yugaverse runs on ApeCoin. This is not news. This has been out there for a long time, since the beginning of the launch of ApeCoin. Back when people were like, oh no, they're never going to do the Other Side mint in ApeCoin. No, that's so stupid. Impossible. Why would they ever do? Dude, if you literally made the bet that, hey, I think, no, actually, they said we're going to use ApeCoin. Like, you could read between the lines and it was all there. So anyways, the Yugaverse runs on ApeCoin. Super bullish there. Obviously, we have another iteration of this in Other Side. Coin for your voyage. Other Side does not take cash, credit, or checks. The economy here runs on ApeCoin. Should you aim to purchase an item in Other Side, it's Ape you'll need. Okay? So, two big things right there. And then, of course, we see it tied in through Bored Ape stuff all the way through. The first step was obviously Dookey Dash. We had the sewer passes. Evo 1 was Dookey Dash. This was an interactive skill-based mint with an optional ApeCoin mechanic. From the little video here where they're like talking about how to play Dookey Dash, they say, oh, these next 4 games or these next mini games are going to be ApeCoin powered by ApeCoin. And so that means Evo 2, Evo 3, and whatever the one with BAKC is. There's going to be, like, I don't know. I'm curious to see what their powered by ApeCoin means, and then kind of like how that differs from this optional ape spend. And so if it's truly powered by ApeCoin, it makes me kind of think that spending ApeCoin won't be optional for these next mini games, possibly. Whereas is like, hey, they said, okay, we're going to do the skill-based mint. You can or you don't have to. There's no gun to your head that says, hey, you must spend ApeCoin. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some kind of, you have to spend at least a little bit of ApeCoin at some point in mini game set 1, 2, or this third one down here. Kind of like how we have it with 10KTF. If you want to do one of the PFP, get one of the classic backpacks or shoes or hoodies with your PFP on them, you have to spend a little ApeCoin to progress it to the next step. So yes, I put this little graphic together a while ago. This was 2 ApeCoin per boost. Then we have these other question marks that are powered by ApeCoin. TBD. We have the 2D Other Side second trip. This thing powered by ApeCoin, whatever the heck that means. First of all, this poster looks sick.
So sick.
The shattered vessels or something, isn't that what it said?
Yeah, something like that.
Vertical goes down.
Anyways, but it's like, okay, so how many times do they have to tell you? How many times does Yuga have to sell you merch in ApeCoin? Freaking give you a mini game in ApeCoin, give you Other Side with ApeCoin, all these different things. How many times does it take before it's like, oh, hey, like, if you want anything Yuga relate, like if you want to participate with Yuga, you need ApeCoin. And I think ultimately that's kind of like the blue pill of ApeCoin because it's blue. That's kind of like the narrative. Like if you haven't caught on to that, then it's kind of like, what are you doing? Staking is literally a free money glitch right now. Obviously not quite, but like this is going to compound in such a stupid way come bull market. It's not even funny. Like when you think about it, if you stake for the full 3 years, it's just like, okay, you're stacking ApeCoin now, and that is going to make your gains just literally explode going into a bull run. What else? We'll talk about that later. The other thing I wanted to talk about, moving away from ApeCoin and all of the use cases for it, is we do have a trip on the other side obelisk roadmap called the Dream, where it's an impossible arcade machine emerges to the center of the biogenic swamp. Use your trip wisely and be rewarded. So it's like, damn, Yugo, what have y'all been doing? Y'all made Dookey Dash. We've got 3 more mini games coming. 2 more mini games coming up, and then we've also got
2D experience,
an impossible arcade machine, and then we've got the 2D. So it's like, you guys definitely, on the road to saying like, hey, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, they're literally just gonna dominate the space and everybody's attention for the whole year, and I'm here for it.
I mean, it's so far above everything else, it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
If we're just being honest. And yeah, naturally, I'm a maxi. Kind of hard not to be when all they do is drop these bombs basically since December until now. It's just been constant delivery. And it's like, here's what's happening next. Hey, we got this graphic. Hey, we got this video, the short film thing. And when he's taking the shit. Oh, hey, we're going to play this game for 3 weeks. Oh, hey, we got a summoning. Oh, yeah, there's an other side trip coming too. And after that, there's a 2D experience. Oh, hey, there's this evolution that'll happen in April. Like, dude, like, I don't understand how someone wouldn't want to get at least a piece of Yuga. And even if that's just ApeCoin, like you guys are laying out, I think that's a fine play too. Of course, not financial advice, but even if like maybe you have a small bag and you're like, I got $500 to spend. I think $500 in Ape long-term is not a bad play at all. Just because when these things get rolling, when these activations are hitting, when other sides start, when they start to kind of tell us what, when you're in other side, what are resources? How are they going to be traded? Like, is pricing on each land different, or is it like a collective unit where this is the pricing schedule or whatever? And like you just pointed out, everything you buy in there is via ApeCoin. So you're telling me that everything that what we hope is an amazing platform that has a 24/7 massive gameplay with mini games, experiences, etc. on it, and all of it has to be done in ApeCoin. Okay. Like if other side is successful, and it's still an if, like we all believe, like I'm very bullish on it, but if it hits, dude, ApeCoin is uber valuable, like unbelievably valuable and undervalued right now if other side hits.
Yeah, incredibly undervalued.
Again, NFA, of course.
For everybody else that will be building in the other side, right? Like they're going to have to utilize ApeCoin in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through, I could see like, we have like a free to play game and a members only game. Membership, you got to pay, 2 ApeCoin a month or something like that. It's one of those, very, very bullish ApeCoin.
I was looking at stats for Fortnite the other day because I was just like trying to wrap my head around like what are some of these popular games able to do, and there's like 25 million daily active 25 million daily active users on Fortnite, 250 weekly active users, and it's just like, okay, so first of all, 25 million on other side would be absolutely bonkers. But if you accomplish that, let's just say let's just start off simple. Let's just say 1 million active users on other side. What are they going to need? They're going to need the token, right? Mm-hmm. At a minimum, if you're going to walk around, JPEGs will be plentiful. You'll be able to bring in all sorts of assets into other side. Scarcity will not be a thing for a lot of these things. Think about like the Voyager skin. I wouldn't be surprised if we all got airdropped like a basic Voyager NFT skin as like a playable character, right? From the first trip. Like there'll be like a dime a dozen, right? And you just maybe there'll be like a cool early status, right? Where it's like, damn, that's the like the OG Fortnite skin where it's like, whoa, you played, like you still have that skin from way back when, blah, 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 blah. You know, like it'll be like a cool thing that like if you were really early, if you were a day one user, if you were whatever, then you have it. But maybe you don't. Maybe if you don't play in the first week, you don't get the OG Voyager skin or something like that. I don't know. They could do something cool there. But it's like there's literally 100,000 of these things, 200,000 of these things. I mean, I think that would be wild.
I mean, yeah, the possibilities are endless, right? I mean, they're building this other side, and they can go whichever sort of direction they want to.
But I just think it's like, if you look at like 25 million daily active users for Fortnite, like how many of those hold V-Bucks? Like what is the collective amount of the in-game currency that they can spend? Like how much, like what is the average value that one of those players holds? And then equate that to, okay, say it's $10 across 25 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's, you know,
250.
That's holding like a quarter of the staking pool right now.
Yeah, wild.
And that's, I mean, and Fortnite was saying they're putting up 250 million unique users within a week, I think is what the article said.
That's wild.
Or something like that. So it's just like, damn, dude, like you start thinking, like you start pairing that together, and then it's like, oh, on average, people have a few ApeCoin.
Well, that's the big thing too, right? Is it's not like other side is going to be a Fortnite, right? It's going to have, it's like an app store where it's going to have all these different games, right? So imagine you threw Fortnite, Call of Duty, Clash of Clans, and what some other similar fun type game. Like active users will be way more than 25 million, right? Because that's strictly just one game, Fortnite.
Yeah.
It
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a platform.
Big, very fast. Yeah, right.
It is very much a platform meant to be more like a gaming station, like a app store almost, or something like that, right? I mean, there's going to be mini games, there's going to be rich games, there's going to be all sorts of things, and a lot of it will be built by the community.
Yep.
Experiences on other side lands, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it all plays out, because it's so clear, like that the amount of attention and care that the founders are going to take when implementing ApeCoin usage. Like to me, like Dookey Dash was so beautifully done in terms of like incentivizing ApeCoin spend. It was like if you were a tier 1 pass and you had no boost, you had nothing, you had the most incentive to spend ApeCoin to increase your score. Whereas like if you were a tier 4 pass, you already had a nice comfy boost. But if you really wanted to top the chart, then it was like, yeah, you're going to need to spend ApeCoin, to the point where, I mean, I'd like to see the data on it. Like who from the top leaderboard maybe made it without spending ApeCoin. And I would, you know, probably imagine it's not that many people.
No, I would assume that it's definitely not many. This is interesting, this comment, because you guys also talked about this.
They have,
talked about wallets. And so I'm curious, maybe they aren't building it, but maybe they have a partner or someone that they're trying to work with. And I know they use Coinbase commerce shit, but like that would be dope if they came up with some easy way, ease of use to interact within the other side via the Agora and all the trading that'll be done via ApeCoin. I'm curious because they definitely brought this up as something that's holding the space back as a whole. So what if they did have like they had a wallet? That's like another thing for them to do. So I kind of find that a bit of a stretch, but I don't know, like maybe they're partnering with somebody, or because I would agree, like that's as a whole ease of use and safety. within the space with that wallet is probably the biggest thing holding people back from getting into crypto as a whole, but also NFTs. And you need to make it like dummy proof where they're not thinking about it. It's like the Apple Pay example again. When we started paying with our phones, like it blew my brain in half because that just wasn't normal. And now we all do it like almost daily. We're using our phone to pay for something. That's what it needs to get to.
Yeah.
And I think it will at some point. It just takes time and innovation, right?
Agreed.
We're
Yeah,
still
for
very early. iPhones for the first 3-4 years were not that popular. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, snap, I need one of these.
I mean, it's going to play out kind of like how Token Proof did. Fonz was at a Yuga event, was like, oh, crap, this is
not ideal.
Not ideal, right? And then went back and made his version of a solution for it. And so it just happens that he did a really good job, right? So
Fantastic job.
I think we will see a lot of things come and go. I agree, though. We need something like if the masses are truly going to show up, they need like the bumpers on their bowling lane.
Yep.
So they don't get wrecked. Because the truth is like they're going to get wrecked.
Yeah. It needs to be one of those very simple processes, like how you buy V-Bucks. You just put in your credit card number and there you go. It needs to be something pretty much as simple as that. Although they said in the thing they're not taking credit cards, right?
Correct.
Yeah, ApeCoin only. I mean, yeah, that'll be
provide
interesting.
Some easy way to buy ApeCoin.
I'm like waiting for the day where you can walk into a Walmart, grab a gift card that loads up $25 worth of ape at whatever the current exchange rate is, and gift that to your little nephew on Christmas. You're like, here you go. Here's $50 in ApeCoin. Oh, what is that? A quarter of an ape? Sorry.
Is that in sooner or further than 2 years out?
I'm gonna have to take
depends how dope
over
this
on
year
that
is.
one. I think
over. Yeah, probably.
I think it will. The thing
I
is
don't know.
that
I mean,
it's
last year
not.
we were like, sorry, go ahead.
The main challenge there, right, is that how do you deliver a asset that varies in price at a register like that? Because then you got to have Walmart have the exchange rate of ApeCoin and whatever, unless if you're buying a fixed amount, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe, and well, I don't know. It just becomes so complicated, right? It's like I want to see it happen.
It's such an impossible question, to be honest with you, because like,
I mean, it's the same way that we go when we buy ApeCoin right now.
Yeah,
right? Like we either call it up on Uniswap,
Yeah.
Paraswap, or some other platform. Like
Yeah.
all that needs to happen is you integrate one of these platforms into a Walmart register, and then it's as simple as just submitting it.
And the thing is if they sell an asset, well, so I was trying to think. There's a game, RuneScape, where you could buy membership. You buy a pass in the form of like a bond, which you can then redeem for membership, or you can sell it for in-game currency. And so like that fluctuates, like the price of the bond fluctuates with the in-game currency, but it ends up binding the currency to a certain like range. Where it's like, it's always going to kind of be in this price range because this is how much XYZ is worth in game, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, you don't really want to be like, oh, here's an item that you can burn for 25 ApeCoin or whatever. And you can always sell them this item at a fixed rate, because then it's like you're selling the token at a fixed rate, and it just doesn't work out. So you would literally have, I don't know. It's going to take a while.
It will. It will. But now I'm trying to think about like, how would you create a gift card, and then how would they redeem that gift card and be sent that ApeCoin?
That's
somebody will figure it out.
That's $1
I
million.
don't know, but then again, it's like, think about it. Okay, so like Gen Z literally doesn't even know how to like pretend they're on the phone. They're over here doing slabs. So if they're slabbing it up on the phone, then maybe they're born with a wallet integrated into their bloodstream. So that
When
you
we
know we
start
won't
putting
even have
chips
this
in
issue.
babies, it just comes with your own custom wallet.
I feel like there's going to be some pushback on that, but you know what? You never know.
You never know. This
Straight to the temple.
Are you gonna go lower?
Oh my! This is
well, all of a sudden I was like, wow.
I was keep going lower, bro.
Oh,
You got it.
lower.
Maybe? No, now I'm all messed up.
Sideways. Oh, come on.
So we're bullish on ApeCoin. We're bullish on Dookey Dash. What else have we been thinking about over the last week or so, or even a couple days? Because it has been like a wild, even 24 hours.
I'm so intrigued by this 2D experience. So
Yeah.
intrigued. Like, is it going to be like anime-esque? Is it going to be kind of like the other side trailers we've seen with the coda and the elaboration on that sort of storyline? Is it something entirely different that's just going to be like, yo, this was super unexpected, but this is super cool and something else to look forward to? Like, I don't know.
It feels like it's going to be about codas, dude. Because the broken
like
vessels, like the vessels that were in that one, you know, where it was like flipped upside down and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like it's going to be information or story, more story on codas. And maybe the other side and how it's being ripped apart. Like, I think it's a story play for sure. Because it looks like a movie poster, right? So like my first thought is definitely some sort of trailer experience. But it could be something different. That's the thing, dude. And then like, okay, so there's a toad in the fucking box. Is that what's in the box? Because that one picture, it looked like the toad was in the motherfucking box. I don't remember where I saw that. But one of the fucking new things, I'm like, that looks like the toad is what's in the box, and that's what we're licking. By the way, this is another thing that's like, okay, that's pixelated. So what the hell are we doing here? Like
that looks like a toad too.
Mm-hmm. Although, is that the kind of wings from the Evo 1 pictures? Where it's kind of like that's the wing on the...
Hold, please.
That.
I think that's that.
I think it's that, but just blurred, right? Because that's totally like the wings.
You think it's just blurred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my question is, what is this though? Like, this looks like some sort of game, right?
Oh, this?
No, this right here, yeah.
I think this is just like a display of like you powering up your mecha. I don't think this is a game. This to me looks like level 5 blades or some shit like that, and then you've got the little lock thing, so maybe you have some other attribute you can buy for your mech.
What's this on the website? What does this one say? Like, what's the title for this picture? I just forget. That's...
Hold, please.
No worries. And also, like, them updating, like the update with the video, like, God, I was like, yes, please.
Journey to Evo 2.
Interesting.
So we're getting a mech types revealed. Lick the toad. What's the point? What's the point of lick the toad? Are we gonna get like another video?
Look at he's in the fucking box. That's the keyhole right there. He's looking through it.
Is that the keyhole?
Dude, that's definitely the fucking keyhole, bro.
Hold on.
He's in the fucking box, bro.
Wait, is that not the same photo?
Does that not look like a keyhole he's looking into?
Hold on. You're making me question everything. Wait, so is the photo that I have here not the... Wait a second.
Looks like a different toad.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. It's a different photo.
Oh no!
Look at that though. What's that shit on the side?
What's he in?
Yeah, what is that?
This is the sewer. This is the sewer, friends.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is the handle to the sewer.
Okay, so now
we're looking toads in the sewer.
Yo, he's got some ugly ass toes.
This cat is ugly as a whole. Like his whole being is ugly as hell.
I personally love this frog. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Go back to the one again.
That dude looks just like
that's tripping balls.
He's like, yeah, that's what happens when you lick the toad.
Okay, I'm jumping all over the place. The summoning scores reviewed. Okay.
That's easy enough.
15th. Yo, this is next week. We get to summon this shit. My God.
Yeah, I know.
This is what I love about you. They literally came out and they said, hey, we're going to keep you entertained entertained the entire 2023.
entire time.
But the summoning. So what is this fucking? What's that little block thing again? That
This?
picture? No. On the summoning. Yeah, that. What's
I think
that?
that's just like the power source, right?
Okay. It was just one of the items we picked up, or what is? Yeah, what is that shit?
I don't know.
That looks so with the color too. That's just so badass. And it's like, what is on the top right? That's kind of hooked around it. Kind of looks.
I don't know, dude.
Let me see here. Let me see if I have my screenshot.
I was just gonna say if you did. I feel like that looks like one of them, but I'm fucking so tired that I maybe just think everything looks like a fucking element that we're picking up. But the summoning, so I don't even know what that's gonna be though. Like, what is?
So it's not one of the boxes.
Okay. Huh.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's definitely not those. Yeah, it's the cow. It just transformed into a box. He said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna run you into this van again." So you gotta wait.
So
anyway. I really don't know what to expect on the summoning either. But
are we getting those little creatures? Is that the summoning, and those are the power sources that are on the mech's like shoulders? I keep hoping that's what happens because I just think that would be so fucking badass. But
so early March is the mech types revealed, which makes me think that no, we won't be seeing the mechs during the summoning.
But I'm saying that I'm talking about the little creature on their like shoulder.
Yeah, that's the mech though, is it not?
No.
It's like a little Pokemon.
It looks basically.
Hold on.
It's like a little Pokemon, bro. It's like an evolving Pokemon. That's why I think we're evolving this shit, bro.
Through the rift.
Dude, if they hit us with like a Pokemon like little creature, I'm gonna be like, yes, let's fucking go. I don't remember. Oh, I know what thread it was. There's a thread by Nash.
You're talking about these little guys up here.
Nah, okay.
On his shoulder.
Yes, dude.
On
like, what if those are the fucking power sources, bro? Because
he does look pretty powerful.
Dude, think about the boxes, bro. The boxes, when you would play Dookey Dash, the first time you log in, it had a voice coming out of the box.
That is true.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No, yeah. I mean, I wrote a thread about it.
Nash something or other did. Arnold, I don't fucking remember his name. Nash.
Dude, so this little guy looks mean as heck, though. Okay, so like, what's the point of Evo? Why are we Evoing this shit? Like,
laying down. My camera just fell.
Well, I mean, does that not look? Whoa. Does that not look? Okay.
Apologies.
We interrupt this broadcast.
Yo, my bad. My camera fell. Take me off the screen.
Board Ape member for life, not expiring 2025.
That's me.
You got to make yourself one of these little whatever they're called. Phil.
My guys, we didn't even talk about this, and then we just went live, and I didn't have one, so I'll do that next time. What were we just talking about? Oh, evolving. Where's that damn thing at again? Here. All right. Jesus Christ. Because why wouldn't you want to go to this bigger version?
But I guess I'm just missing why the evolution. Like what do we learn differently here?
More powerful, dude.
Does he have a boo-boo? Does he have a band-aid on his leg right here?
Yes.
Oh man. Yo, he's got some bullets in there, bro. He's just ready for
loaded.
Ready for it. These things are pretty cool looking though. I gotta say, I like the little sketches. I think they look they go hard.
But yeah, I'm just curious, super curious on the little dudes on the shoulders.
Wait a second.
And then like, what's that scratched out shit? Like, what's that say?
Wait a second. What does this say? This is clearly talking about the goobly glop in the middle of the mech.
And then this like tail thing or arm.
Is this a power source back here? Is that this thing?
Oh yeah.
No.
It looks
maybe.
No, not quite.
Some. LOL. What the fuck is this? Yeah. I don't know.
If you could make out all this fucking random text, it's probably like massive bombs, but they like made it where I will never.
Just hard enough to read.
Does that say Jimmy with a G?
Jimmy
Jimmy
is
Oh,
Just
Jimmy's
preparing.
preparing an army.
Yeah.
Army,
We must
we
prepare.
Yeah.
Oh, we must prepare.
Jimmy
Is
is
that like a centipede type? Just
building.
the-
Dude,
is-
so why the hell is Jimmy getting an army together? Wait a damn minute. Just because we attacked his butt, he's gonna be
He's like,
putting an army together?
I guess.
It's the future, bro. Because see,
So
it's
when
like MD
okay,
versus MM.
so, hey, when do we get this blockchain fighting game?
I don't know, dude.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Dude, this game has been in development for well, I don't know if it's still in development, but there was that video clip where it was like, yeah, the Bored Ape blockchain fighting game will be released soon. And that was like 3 years ago. What is this? What is this element? OH.
So that's H2O plus nitrogen.
Somebody
Nitrogen
figured out what
oxide?
that was. I don't remember what it was, but somebody wrote about
Infinity.
it.
Maybe this is gas.
That would make sense.
I don't know though. I'm a dog. Yeah, pretty much.
I want to know about the creatures on the shoulder. That's literally all I want to know about.
1 week, Phil.
But then I don't even know if it'll happen then.
Dude,
True.
so it's going to be so obvious that, like, in order to do well in whatever this battle is you're going to need your kick-ass companion dog to come fight with you.
Yeah, he is badass.
It's going to be the equivalent of, like, hey, did you use ApeCoin to boost? It'll be like, hey, did you bring your dog with you to the battle? And then it'll be like...
Is that
No,
going to be one of the
Gunman.
mini games, though?
I have no idea. I hope it's not just a mini game. I mean, like, at some point, Yuga will have to stop making just mini games and make, like,
this is a game everybody can
something
play.
that can live for a while, right?
Mhm.
Like,
But
3 weeks was a long time. Like, it was a long time to have the tournament. But, like, what happens? Like, does Yuga eventually ever bring this game back for people to just free play?
I think
just
so.
for fun.
Well, I feel like this would be the type of game that's in their old arcade style.
Yeah.
Right? Like they'll have this game, they'll have the mobile game that we played last year. They'll have probably Evo 2 and Evo 3 in there. Just as like in case you guys like really just loved playing this game, well, you can go back and play it some more.
I agree. My question on the mechs, though, and everything we're doing here on this little roadmap, are they really just... When I say just, that could take that as a negative. I'm not trying to be negative at all. Are they just gaming NFTs, like assets that you're using in the other side? Or do you think it'll also, and I had heard this question a decent amount actually, or is it you're going to get like a PFP version of this mech? Or do we think it's just like a wearable or like game asset?
I think it's a game asset. I think it's the start of them transitioning us from, like, they've built their community. They have their community assets. You know, if you want to represent something, you pick up an ape, a mutant, a punk, hell, even a meebit, or a dog, right? And then now we will start building out, like, hey, you have your plot of land. Hey, you have your artifacts. Hey, you have your combat gear. Hey, you have, your fun wearables from 10KTF, et cetera, et cetera. I think these mechs, it's not like it matters what ape you have is what mech you get. It matters what mech suit you have or whatever, or something like that, right? So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, the resting state of mechs is these little floating things around Curtis. Like, imagine you're just running around other side, and you're not running around as your mech the entire time. You're running around with your mech.
So,
but
the main purpose is for their large game that they're developing. Is that
right? I don't think they're making a PFP out of this. I don't think they're going the route of like, here's another PFP for you to choose from.
Yeah, I would agree there.
I think they've built the community and whatever. This is supposed to be. I mean, Spencer teased us with that little Pokemon clip, something about collect them all. My guess is they're probably trying to make multiple different types of mechs where you're like, hey, I want a fleet of mechs.
But then I go back to, and I'm literally being what's the fucking word?
Devil's advocate.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Easiest term ever, and I can't even think of that. Devil's advocate is, so why are these worth 3 ETH or 2 ETH or whatever? If it's a gaming asset, like what does it bring me besides I play a game?
Well, currently,
and do I even need it?
Speculation.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Like, that's why they're so high. Because when Will and I were talking about it before we even got sewer passes and everything, we were like, all right, let's like realistically try and think of the value here, where this is not going to be really anything more than an artifact or a wearable. So we were kind of thinking like, oh, they'll probably trade around like half an ETH, 1 ETH. And here's like tier 1 sitting at 2.5. And it was just like, wait a second. People are really speculating.
But then I would say the team has also like pumped it too, though, dude, with all this like fucking shit they're saying. Like,
I mean, here's the bottom line. If you're an ape owner, you're gonna want a mech, right? Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. Do you need 17 mechs? Probably not. Do you need 17 bored apes? No, you can only rock one at a time, right? So I think it comes back to that unless you're Franklin. But I do think currently, right now, it's probably a little blown out of proportion. I think the floor is a little too high, you know, maybe, and the top tier floor might not be high enough, right? Like, that's where we're going to see what happens when you get like this, you know, the mega god mech suit gets dropped, the rare 1 of 1 unlocked by the key with the ultimate power source inside of it is going to get sold for $1 bajillion. And then, you know, you're going to have your more generic mechs go for a lot less, right? Than potentially where they are right now. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
I have a thought. Go ahead.
I do think a lot of people are going to want to just keep the mech that they minted because that's in the Yuga Swamp bloodstream, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your ape, you minted your dog. You have your dog, you minted your mutant or whatever, you know, like a lot of people don't like mixing and like letting their stuff break apart, right? I mean, I'm that way for sure. I've got my dog, I've got my land, I've got, you know, the sewer pass that I minted. I'm going to keep this mech that I get from it. Like, those are things that are just like non-negotiable. Like, they ain't leaving my wallet unless if you like are going to pay me double, triple floor. Then I'll think about it. I don't know. That's just me.
So with the summoning and the power source thing, I have a thought, and I could be completely wrong, but I just like, obviously the key, the number 1 spot is going to be ridiculously valuable, like far and above, better than all the rest. Would you agree with that statement first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
My second thought is, yes, of course, like definitely, because they've said as much, the higher your score, the more rare your thing is, right? Or the better potentially your thing is. Is that also true?
Possibly.
Here's my thought is, I don't think it's actually going to be like super wide ranging. Like, I actually think like you scoring 1,000th and you scoring, I don't know, 4,000. Like, I think, or even 5,000. I don't think it's going to be like super drastic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
what do you think about that speculation?
I think it'll be a standard rarity spread like they normally do.
Well, and that's where it also comes down to just pure luck, right? Like, you look at the rarity ranks and bored apes and mutants, and like you'll see some that are rarity rank, 50, and they look like a dog shit floor ape, but it's rarity rank 50, right? And then you have some that are like rarity rank 8,000, and it's like, oh wow, that's a pretty clean looking ape.
And this is so different though too, right? Because like you're talking about a power source, so is it going to be like the amount of power that it can store? You know what I mean? Like, I just have this thought that I really, and I could be completely fucking wrong, but I do think like there's going to be a difference, of course, from 5,000th place to 1,000th place. Of course, that's super wide. But I actually think within those bands of within 5,000 or so, I think it's actually going to be relatively similar on the power of whatever this power source is. That's just the thought I've had the whole time. And that's not because I only scored a whatever 275K, I think was my highest. That has nothing to do with it. I've always thought like, yeah, of course, if you get the 1 of 1, that's going to be fucking massive. And it's going to sell for over $1 million. And maybe top 10, top 100 even. Like, yeah, sure, I could see that. But when you get into these like 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000 even, like, I don't know. Like, I just have this thought that it's because it's different. Like we said, it's different than a PFP, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different than a PFP. It's not, you're not looking for a rarity. You're looking for, I would assume, literally like the amount of power or special shit that you can do with it. But I mean, we're all speculating, but I think it's going to be closer than your standard. Like if you get 1,000th and you get 9,000th, yeah, there's going to be a difference, but it's not going to be like extreme.
My guess is the skill-based mint has more to do with the underlying like base characteristics. So they say mecha types reveal. My guess is type, like if you got first place, you have the 1 of 1 type. If you've got in the top 50, you have a 1 of 50 type. If you have, the top 1,000, then you're a 1 of 1,000 type. And then they just have like, maybe 8, 9 different types.
I agree with that.
It'd be like furs. It'd be like, oh, you got the gold ape. Oh, you got 50 of the trippy apes. Oh, you got, however many of the DMT fur, right? However many of the cheetah. And so I think that's where the skill-based mint comes in. And then like all of your other characteristics are going to be still TBD based on these upcoming games.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. And again, I like how you first said it, where there's like 8 types. I don't correlate it with like the gold versus the trippy versus the pink or whatever fur. I think it's more because that's like also like an aesthetic as well, right? Like it's like the visual that matters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, I could see him doing that with this. Right?
I mean,
we think it'll be a visual. We think it'll be like an actual visual that's like.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that because they say mecha types revealed. If they didn't say mecha types,
if it just said mecha revealed.
But I'm talking about the summoning, right? Because summoning is first, right? And isn't that where you get to see like whatever the fuck your power source thing is? That's where great point, because now we're talking about 2 sort of different things. But before that, whatever, the 15th, next Wednesday, right? We got the summoning. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, so we get a power source. That's where I'm saying I think that will be tighter than maybe a typical rarity scale. And then mech types reveal, I could see what you just said. Like that makes sense to me. Like the 1,000, whatever, the first 50 have this type and it's super badass, and the first 500 have this and it's a little less badass but still dope. Like I could definitely see that. It's just curious because it's like so many different steps here, right? Like you get a power source, but then you also see a mech, and then like how does the power? You know what I mean? Like they're like separate. Obviously, they're combined, but they're separate entities.
We could still be walking away with fragments still, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll find out in a week-ish.
Yep.
We'll find out some of it in a week.
That's the thing, dude.
Like the speculation will just keep building, right? We speculated today, and then I guarantee you whatever we find out from the summoning next week will cause different speculation. And then,
we literally are fanboys. We're like the Swifties, dude, to Taylor Swift, but we're with Bored Apes. We're just crying as we're talking about them. I'm excited, though, for sure. Definitely exciting update.
Yeah, for sure. All right, fellas, I'm going to have to wrap it up today.
Resident DGen is not being a DGen. He's not going to stay up all night.
Unfortunately not.
In this economy?
In this economy.
I could, year and a half ago. Shoot, I'll stay.
I gotta get that paycheck so I can still buy some ETH. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all were gonna be working here full time, and now we're all glad we have a job.
Yeah, thank God I didn't quit.
This would be a lot different conversation, and you might be in a cardboard box along with I. No, I think it was good, dude. Other side will be great. This will be great. I'm excited. Dookey Dash definitely a success. Yeah, still fuck the haters. Like, I'll say that. I don't care. Like, I don't care because you can't come at me with anything that any other project's done. And here's my biggest bugaboo. As a Bored Ape member, I've tried to, like, when I say shit negative about a project, I try to do it in the DMs. Like, I'll say it to you guys, or I'll say it to another friend. But I'm not just fucking doing blasphemous shit on Twitter and just
I am
like dragging people. No, that's fine. But like, that's hard for me because it's like anytime there's anything that's even slightly like off, people are like, oh my God, for Yuga being the flagship, they just fuck up all the time. It's like, okay. It's like, okay. Like, what are we talking right now? Like,
I just always revert back to Gordon's tweet to Tropo, which was like, sorry, Tropo, like you tried releasing a project and getting everything right the first time.
Correct. It's not even been 2 years. Like, that's the fucking crazy part.
Yeah, right. Like, they're still pioneering and innovating in this space. Like, of course, there's going to be hiccups and mistakes along the way. I would be like, if there wasn't, I'd be like, okay, something's fishy here.
Agreed.
Y'all are too perfect.
Yeah, y'all are too perfect. Yo,
oh my God. You guys are too perfect. Stop it. Mess up. No, but definitely excited. Man, there's just going to be so much to speculate on. That's the fun part. They've given us crumbs, right? And they've been great at doing that. And now it's more like even transparent with the roadmap update and with some of the visuals that they're going to be pushing over the next couple of weeks. Like, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what the summoning is. I think it could be some sort of, well, I guess we'll have to go in and burn our ticket or some shit, but that should be a fun experience. And potentially we can do that live next week on Board Talk. So that's exciting.
Be sweet.
Indeed.
Okay, last really quick. Checks, yay or nay?
The fuck? I haven't had time to even.
Yeah, I don't have any. Not putting my ETH towards that.
I say fuck the checks. That's what I gotta say. Fuck those things and all the derivatives. Fuck them. All right, that's all I got.
I mean, they might be great, but it's. I mean, what about ordinals too? I mean, that's something. If I was not on a work trip right now and not literally,
just working
entirely too much more than I really care to work, I would be exploring the shit out of ordinals right now. But the truth is I don't got enough time. So no ordinals for me. As fun as it looks like they're having over there on Bitcoin, spending all sorts of crazy amounts of money.
Wow, that they're like, oh yeah, trading takes place on a Google Docs and yada yada yada. I'm like, wait,
ordinal punk, man, shit. Dingling bought a frick load. I'm like, well, that would have been fun to like get in on, but
such is life. There'll be more shit. There'll be more shit that I fade, but
right, they'll be dropping 200 ETH on mechas soon.
Yes, and it'll be the ones we have. We can hope. All right. Yeah, Board Talk, Board TV. If you want to come and speculate with us, let us know. We like to speculate. We like to talk all things Yuga, Bored Ape, Other Side, Me Bits, CryptoPunk, all of it, and soon Mex. That's it, man. We out.
Peace.